Hello friends, and welcome to what's promising to be a gorgeous weekend here in Melbourne. The weather is forecast for sunny 19 degree days. For my overseas viewers, I'll pop down below the Fahrenheit conversion of what that is. We're going to have a gorgeous weekend. It's going to be spent completely outdoors. Today, Saturday, we're going to be doing some garden work. We're going to be putting out some weeds, putting down some mulch, and just refreshing our garden from what's been a really wet and gloomy weekend. The weeds have taken over, and then tomorrow we're taking our house guests to Puffin Billy, a gorgeous area in the Dandenong Ranges, and I thought I would take you along with me. Along the way, I've also got a special unboxing from Fitville, who reached out and asked if they could send me some shoes for me to try out and tell you all about it. So that's at the end, so look out for that. In the meantime, come along and let's enjoy this gorgeous weather in Melbourne. We're starting out with 1.5 cubic meters of mulch and just seeing how far this goes. In theory, we think it can do at least half the garden bed at the front of our house, but I'm not too sure. Our garden bed seems to have ideal conditions for weeds, which look like they're on steroids. They're large and prickly, and some have created a very strong root system. And others disguise themselves amongst my flowers in the hope of being missed.
It's like the world turned its back on us, and now we can't tell if it's heaven or hell. It's like knowing all the answers.
We have a large food and organic waste bin which we can dispose of food scraps, weeds, clippings, etc. that gets collected weekly. My husband did actually all the groundwork with the mulch, and we ended up having to get a second trailer of mulch to cover this garden bed.
You're sorry, but you never can tell. All the lovers we were diving for today.
The garden always looks so pretty with fresh mulch, which makes all the remaining plants just pop. By the way, I post regularly on Instagram and Facebook snippets of my life that I don't always post on YouTube. I'd love for you to follow me there, Deborah After 50, all one word. And if you enjoy my videos, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future uploads. So the plan was to get the whole front garden done. Weeded, mulched, and planted with some fresh plants. However, 2 trailer loads only did this section here and this section here. So looks like the rest of the garden is going to have to wait, or at least the front garden is going to have to wait for another weekend, because we're exhausted. We just don't have the energy that we used to back in our 20s and 30s, and this garden is substantially bigger than what we've ever had in the past. So this section still needs to be done. I have weeded it, so all the weeds are gone. I just have to put those scraps in the bin, but the bin is overflowing. This section here I've done in the past, so it doesn't need to be done for another little while. If we do have any mulch left over, I will top this up. But so far, these are the iris. They're about to come into bloom in the next couple of weeks. You can see that some of the flowers are already starting to bud. So over the next week or so, these will be a sea of purple blue irises. Next weekend, next weekend is Father's Day, so the weekend after that, we might have to spend some more time to get this side of the front garden done. The problem with living on an acre is that the garden is always a huge job. I love it once it's done, but actually doing the work is backbreaking. On Sunday, we left off at 9 to head off for a day to Puffin Billy, which is located in the Dandenong Ranges, about 40 kilometres east of Melbourne.
That we had to put to sleep. All the lovers hope that we could break the spell. All the lovers, we went down the wishing well. You set the fire and told you promised land.
This This was built in 1900 to serve the local communities that lived in the hills, carrying anything from passengers to timber, livestock, potatoes and plants. The railway is a major tourist attraction that invites visitors to come and experience a century-old tradition. Arriving at Belgrave Station, the sight of the historic locomotives being prepared for departure at the station, the smell of steam billowing out of the vessel's chimney, and the evocative sounds of the train whistle engulf you into another era where life was slower. Before long, the friendly conductors help you on board the open-side carriages for a serene ride over the hills, across iconic timber trestle bridges, down the valley and into the forest of the original mountain track between Belgrave and Gembrook. Today we're stopping at Lakeside. Our journey begins at Belgrave Station, the headquarters of the railway. Puffin Billy passes the southern reaches of the beautiful Sherbrooke Forest, a superb example of rainforest noted for its native mountain ash trees, a form of eucalyptus and tallest flowering plant in the world. Within minutes, you travel over Puffin Billy's most famous landmark, the iconic Trestle Bridge. The journey continues over the hills, down the valley and into the forest with eucalyptus leaves almost close enough to touch. Puffin Billy Railway was built at the turn of the last century and is a genuine relic of our more leisurely days. It is the major survivor of 4 experimental lines used to develop rural areas in the early 1900s. The present line between Belgrave and Gembrook in the Dandenong Ranges outside Melbourne is the major part of the line, which opened on the 18th of December 1900. It was one of 4 opened throughout the state as a low-cost alternative to a broad gauge railway. The 18.2 miles or 29 kilometres Upper Ferntree Gully to Gembrook narrow gauge line was always a scenic attraction to the people of Melbourne, who began travelling on excursion trains for day trips and weekend holidays in the hills during the railway's earliest years. The increased use of the railway for this purpose saw the open NBH class carriages built to cater for these passengers. The train was the lifeline for people living in the hills. In addition to passengers, the train carried mail, parcels, newspapers, perishables, home supplies, farm requisites, livestock and general goods away from Melbourne. On the return journey, the train carried timber and farm produce, especially potatoes grown in the Cockatoo-Gembrook area. In 1953, unfortunately, a landslide blocked the track. This, combined with continued economic losses, resulted in the line being closed in 1954. The present-day success of Puffin Billy has evolved from the humble beginnings of its rescue by determined members of the Puffin Billy Preservation Society, which was formed due to the public interest. Volunteers, with the blessing of the Victoria State Government and the assistance of the Citizens Military Forces, bypassed the landslide and reopened the line from Belgrave to Menzies Creek in 1962. Emerald in 1965, Lakeside in 1975, and finally Gembrook in October 1998. After a leisurely 1-hour journey which seems to fly by, we arrive at Lakeside Station, situated within the picturesque Emerald Lake Park. The park is home to the beautiful Lake Tregonowan, Lake Nobilius Gardens, natural bushlands, as well as both native and exotic plants, with many fern gullies and open eucalyptus forests. There are pedal boats, walking trails, picnic tables, Be careful, as the parakeets are very friendly and come very close to your table, even flying on the table and picking on any crumbs you leave behind. A model railway station is close by, and this is one of the largest model railways in Australia. We purchased a family ticket, 2 adults and 2 children, for $23, and I have to admit, I found it entertaining. The owners are friendly and help you out when you get stuck in finding the hidden but obviously visible clues to answer the various questions along the way, to help you notice the huge level of detail that has been put into this model railway and miniature world. There's a new visitor centre that opened February 2021, which features a cafe, function centre, retail and toilet facilities. On the return journey, I'd like to point out that the carriage, which is now facing backwards, is pulling all the carriages essentially in reverse, and it reverses all the way back to Belgrade, pulling the carriages along. friends. As I was editing this video, I got to the end and I realized I hadn't told you anything about the shoes and my opinions after having worn them for days. Fitwheel is an American company started in 2018 by James Kawai, who is an avid runner who felt that there weren't enough comfortable shoes. And the company's mission is to enhance footwear experience by producing footwear to change lives and live pain-free. They kindly reached out and asked me if I wanted to try on their shoes. And when I looked into their products online, I realized that I thought there were enough people talking about how good their runners were that I thought I would actually try out more of their fashion lines. They have shoes for all sorts of feet issues: flat feet, heel pains, bunions, hammer toes, arthritis, and a whole host of other issues. And they also cater for all different sports: tennis, running, walking. They have wide shoes, anti-slip shoes, casual sneakers, Mary Janes, work shoes. The list is virtually endless. I don't believe I have major feet issues. However, when I wear fashion shoes, sometimes my little toe actually rubs and is sore. And I have to say, after a full day of wearing my normal runners gardening on Saturday, my feet were so sore and I was exhausted. However, I wore the Fitwheel Zebra version 5 all day on Sunday at Puffing Billy, walking, standing, and by the end of the day, my feet felt like they had been enveloped in clouds. These shoes have a wide toe box, which means that your toes aren't all squished together. They have shock-absorbing insoles that provide all-day comfort. They have a quality outsole that provide non-slip grip on slippery surfaces, and they have an on-trend platform sole that is flexible and comfortable. So very not like the Superba shoes that I threw out in my recent accessories declutter, which I'll link down below in case you haven't seen it. And the best thing is, not only do they come in cream, they also come in black, so it makes them super versatile, and I definitely have to get my hands on a pair of those. The second pair that I tried on is the Quinley Flats V1 in leopard print. Now, these shoes are a very pointy shoe. However, let me tell you, they are nothing like what you'd expect a pointy flat shoe to be like. My toes were not scrunched together like that at all. They were extremely comfortable. They also have a comfort inner liner on the rear to stop the shoe from rubbing and creating those annoying blisters. They're made with a soft woven upper stretchy fabric that stretches over your foot. It felt like I was wearing slippers. And it even fits at the end of the day. You know, when you've done a lot of walking and your feet swell at the end of the day, these shoes are a dream. They felt like slippers on my feet. I wore them in a size 39, which is an Australian size 8, and they fit perfectly. And they also have a sponge-footed bed to provide blissful underfoot comfort. I've worn these all day and felt like I was wearing slippers. Not only did they look stylish, but they were super comfortable. And they also come in so many other patterns. You're bound to find something that suits you. However, I do have to advise that if you do have flat feet or a wide foot, perhaps these aren't the ones for you, because the sole is actually a little bit narrow that would suit a more arched foot. And lastly, I tried the Quinley Flip-Flops V2 in preparation for our upcoming summer. And let me tell you, these are fabulous for wide feet, and they have a squishy yoga mat footed base that keeps your feet cool and comfy and provide extra cushioning for your feet. They have an ergonomic arch support that hug your feet, and they have a ridged outer sole that's perfect for providing stability and grip. Overall, I'm super impressed with this brand and the quality of their shoes. Thank you, Fitwheel, for reaching out and thinking of me. You've turned me into a new customer. And for my viewers who have seen my recent accessories declutter, which I'll link down below in case you haven't seen it, you know I love my shoes. And so this brand is now going to be a welcome addition to my shoe addiction. If you're interested in trying these shoes, Fitwheel have currently provided us with a discount code, Deborah18, all together. I'll put it on the screen and down below for you to use. It will provide you with an 18% discount on your purchase. I know myself, I will be definitely making the most of that. Thank you for watching, my friends, and joining me on my recent weekend. I hope you're having a fabulous day wherever you're watching from. Let me know in the comments below where you're watching me from and a little bit about yourself. I'd love to get to know you all. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and please do me a favor, share this video with your friends and family who you think might also enjoy this video. Until the next time, bye.